Hi. I still have not secured a sponsor or advertiser for the show, so today's episode is brought to you by Fill in the Blank. I know when I'm hungry or tired or need a pick me up, Fill in the Blank is always there for me. Fill in the Blank is in a class all of its own. So order Fill in the Blank today. It will change your life.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Podfulness. Let's get started.
Today's guest is Cory Howard, better known as C-Ho, Coho. I've got a lot of nicknames for him. But he is one of these guys that as soon as we see each other, we start joking around right away. I don't ask him how he's doing, how's his family, how's his life. We just get silly. And I think we all need friends like that. He is a hard worker. He is a dedicated friend and family guy. And he's super creative and super funny. So as you listen to this interview, pay close attention because he's subtle. He's got great jokes. He's fun to listen to. And he does terrible in the fun and games segment. I mean, it is a poor performance, but I give him an A for effort and enthusiasm. So I think we're ready to meet Cory Howard. Let's get to it. Cory Howard, hello.
Welcome.
Well, no, I'm supposed to say welcome.
Sorry.
You're supposed to, let's start that over again. Cory Howard, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, Cory, as soon as I see you, I smile because I know something is going to come out of your mouth that's a little bit offbeat and always funny and sometimes offensive, but not really.
That sounds like a euphemism for unintelligent.
No, it's not at all. So, Cory, you're meeting the audience now for the first time. What do you want them to know about you? Who are you? What are you all about?
Well, I am middle-aged dad, father of four, and I just love doing things. I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie. Is that?
Yes, you are an adrenaline junkie. Let's talk about that. What do you mean by adrenaline junkie? What are some of the things that you do?
Well, I don't know. Now that I said junkie, I'm not sure that's an adjective that you want to use to describe yourself. Uh, no,
Well,
I like just doing stuff, right? So if it's going high, if it's going fast, if it's just doing something to see if you can do it, right?
yeah, right.
So just like, hey, I wonder what happened if. I wonder if I could do this. I wonder if I could pull this off, and just going and trying something that you've never done before, just to say, hey, I did it. To
Have
kind
you
of test
jumped
your
out of a
limits.
plane?
I have not jumped out of a plane.
Okay. Have you've gone rock climbing, right?
I do find myself up, not rock climbing per se where the ropes and harnesses, because I feel like that's is that cheating? I think it's
Of
cheating,
course. Yeah,
right?
you like
Yeah,
to go without any sort of supports
right.
and climb up the side of really steep
Basically, yeah,
cliffs.
it's like so I kind of, it's like naked and afraid, but the naked part is the lack of harness and ropes.
Right. And it should be noted right now that you are naked during this interview, right? People can't see you,
Well,
but
that's a subjective term, right? I mean, the Neanderthals wore loincloths. Did they know they were naked? I don't know.
yeah, that's a really good point, Cory. So you like to travel also. Like I think last time I talked to you, you were headed out to Sedona or the Grand Canyon or something adventurous and fun.
Yeah, that is true, actually. I've been to Sedona 3 times in the past calendar year. That's kind of my place I like to get to go. Have you been out there? If you've never been
I've
out there, it's just
I've
amazing.
been once. Yeah. So what does Sedona do for you when you're there?
So do you remember, like, if you've ever, so one of the good experiences I have for my dad is when we travel, you go through at night, you see the skylines of cities. And if you ever
Yeah.
drove through a city or by a city, your head's glued to the window, you're just looking out, right? And now today I have to tell the kids, hey, put your phone down, look out your window for 30 seconds. So
Right.
to me, it reminds me of being 8 or 9 years old, where you're looking out the window. You got to drive now, but it's like, oh, there's one, and you're just
Yeah.
looking everywhere. Like it's it's kind of cool because you just never get tired of looking at it and just
No.
observe it, and you see something new every time. It's like I think that's what they say about paintings in the art museum. Not sure, but
Uh-huh.
it's just every time you
You've
look
never
at
been to a
it.
museum, but you've heard.
Well, not voluntarily, no.
Right.
It doesn't fit the quote unquote adrenaline junkie.
That's right. The thrill of looking at a Monet, there's nothing like it. No, I liked when I went to Sedona, I felt like I would walk and like every 2 minutes there'd be a new view. And I
Hmm.
remember thinking, how can it be that this looks so different and cool than just 2 minutes ago?
Hmm.
So okay, you also love going to concerts too, right?
Yes, that's an understatement. I love my genre of music.
That's right. You and we'll get to that, I promise. Okay.
Oh, I look forward to that. So
All right, so Corey's an adrenaline junkie. He's a dad. He's a good dad. He's a good man. And he also listens to a podcast. And so we're going to get to the podcast that he loves to listen to right after this.
Podfulness.
You know, some people ask me, they say, Mark, how do you stay so youthful? What's your secret? And you know what I tell them? It's the sun. Without the sun, we'd have no food. We couldn't see jack squat, and we'd be very, very cold. The sun. It's nice to have it around. And now, back to the show. So, Corey, what podcast do you want to talk about today?
oh, I might incriminate myself here, but I spend a lot of time in the car, right? And
Yes.
so I want to learn stuff new, but also want to stay current on stuff. And so the I find myself tuning into the podcast the most is the Pat McAfee Show.
Right.
They run it live through YouTube every day, and then a couple hours later it gets clipped down and they post it as a podcast. And I just really find myself going there for just sports and news perspective.
So, Pat McAfee is a former NFL punter. He played with
Mm-hmm.
the Colts, right? He was also, I don't want to say brash because that there's a negative connotation to that, but
Mm-hmm.
he's outspoken, he's a goofy guy, he's funny, he's confident, right? On the show now that he's retired from the NFL, what percentage of it is sports talk and what percentage of it is other talk?
I would say it's probably that 75 80% sports, but they do get into some other stuff. So just recently they were talking about a news story about the idea of could you harness the power by catching lightning, right? And it was
Right.
just yeah. And so then and it's an interesting idea because it's kind of you get these little like one-off storylines and they start running with it, but you know how it is, they're intelligent but they're
Yeah.
new. So you can imagine just the creativity that comes from taking a interesting idea that's far-fetched and
Yeah.
just running amok with it. It's
Right.
really entertaining.
And do you listen to it or do you watch it on YouTube or do you do both?
It depends what I'm doing. Actually, I if you've not seen it through like the YouTube channel, it's really interesting because during what would be essentially the commercial breaks or transition, they'll show background footage, right? And so
Okay.
some for me, he had a really good bit during WrestleMania. I'm sure you saw it, and
Oh, he's been on WrestleMania.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he was with Stone Cold, and at that time Vince McMahon was still with the company, right? And but so you see the behind the scene footages of his performance going into it, and then after, and it's just you really do see like you just it it's amazing to just see the passion and level of what he's doing. But it's the behind the scene footage of the YouTube
Yeah.
part of it is really worth tuning in at nighttime. So, instead of turning on Sports Center, I might just go to the YouTube channel and just watch it. I'm probably not going to make it through 2.5 hours, but I'll watch 30, 40 minutes and skip segments.
And I'm assuming it's pretty topical, right? So would you go back and listen to a Pat McAfee show from 2 months ago, or is it something where you kind of need to keep up to
Yeah,
date?
well, it's going to be current events, right? And however, though, there are, if you get in there and so on the podcast, you're going to watch yesterday's, listen to today's show, whatnot. So you would keep current. But if you're going through the YouTube channel, you're going to catch 5 to 10 minute clips, and
Yeah.
he's just telling stories about the worst trick play of all time, or his interaction or first time meeting. And so that gets really interesting when, he brings on guests, and he brings in some pretty high profile people on a regular basis. Like
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is on the show every week. And,
Right. And
I'm not sure how many shows Aaron Rodgers is doing through the course.
I don't think he does a lot. No.
But he's a MVP last 2 years, and he's on the show every Tuesday or Wednesday. And, but I think that speaks to the guests they have. They actually trust him, because he's just trying to have fun with them. He's not trying to set them up for a hot take. And I think that's where that show's a lot different.
And so Pat, it's not just him, right? So who are like the co-hosts or his partners?
Oh boy, he's got AJ Hawk from Green Bay and Ohio State is on there regularly. Boy, I'm going to miss a couple of the other guys. A lot of the guys that he came up with, and some people that he played with through the Colts are on there. So I couldn't tell you the names.
Okay.
But there's probably about 4 or 5, like a typical show. Now their talking points are not quite the same airtime, but they're still an active part of the show for sure.
Is there a lot of talking over each other sometimes when you have that many people, or no?
I wouldn't say so. I think it's really, so I think that's the thing for people that are cutting up. It's pretty natural flow, because that is, especially if you're listening through earbuds and you've got 5 voices in your head, plus the 2 that you just always have,
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of it. And you had to know Pat was built differently, like what you said. Because do you remember Arby's used to have these souvenir cups at Christmas time? You could buy, if you bought a beef and cheddar combo meal, you could get a Colts cup. Well, there would be like 6 players on the Colts. Well, Pat McAfee's a punter, and he's on the Colts cup.
I know that's crazy, right? Yeah.
Like, how many punters do you know in the history of the NFL?
Not many. Right.
And how many glass beer steins do you have from Arby's of a punter? And the answer is 2, Mark, 2.
And I didn't know until right now that he loved beef and cheddar so much. That's pretty cool. On the show, do you ever see him wearing a shirt that covers his shoulders, or no? Or is tank top his MO?
So you got to be more specific. Cover your shoulders. That could be like a 2-top or something like that. And
or like a nice shawl or something, or an Afghan.
No, guns are always out. The chest hair could be there some days, and some days it's not. It just kind of depends on whether it's a V-neck or a round neck. But no, he's always sporting a tank top.
That's right.
And shorts. And there's a story there, like one of the WrestleManias, he wore a shorts tux or suit, and they're like, "No, you can't do that." And he's like, "Watch me." And there he is. He shows up in a short suit, like he's just. It's amazing how he branded and built his brand, and he kind of started it. He had the vision pretty early. I don't think people give him enough credit for being an entrepreneur, because the tone of the genre, you expect him to just kind of be a meathead, but he's really a pretty good entrepreneur. And
are his studios in Indianapolis, or are they on his farm? Where's he located?
They just relocated. I could say just. It's probably, my guess, it's been maybe in the last 24 months or so. But he's in Indianapolis area. So I thought they took over. That's actually part of the one of the segments they were talking about, the paperwork and the logistic red tape to jump through to take over a building and make it a studio and whatnot. So, but it's got a new one because it's much bigger than what it used to be. But it's in the area, I believe. Okay.
And so, what type of person would like listening to the show, do you think, to the Pat McAfee Show?
Well, if you've ever watched WWE in your life, you would love that show, because in the professional wrestling community, they have this bravado when they speak, this cadence, and it brings that to the sports genre. So anybody that just likes a balance of, it's kind of like going out to eat. You want sweet and salty and savory. Well, it's the same thing. You want laughs, you want perspective, you want intelligence, and you just want random goofball stuff. It's a nice balance.
So there's no age limit, is there? Because my mom, she just turned 84. She loves sports. Huge NBA fan, loves the NFL. Do you think she could listen and enjoy it, or is it something that,
Wow. So probably the one thing that makes it unique is he did it his own ways, right? So the profanity is there at times, and that's okay. But that's part of him wanting to put it through his own platform. In this case, switch to YouTube. He just wanted to keep it his way. So I think it's definitely open for any age, but it's probably a PG-13 crowd or higher just from the profanity that comes with it.
My mom can take it,
but it's can she dish it out? That's the real.
She can dish it out. She can take it. She's a badass woman. Yeah. She loves her profanity. If there's anything I can tell you about my mom, she loves to curse. No, that's not true. Not true at all.
There's an art to it.
Yeah, there is an art to it. You got to time it perfectly, right? You can't just drop it all the time. All right, so that's the Pat McAfee Show. I'm sure you can find it wherever podcasts are sold. Is that a thing? They're not sold, are they?
Well, I don't think it's sold. It's free. I mean,
oh yeah, you're right. Podcasts are free. All right, so what we're gonna do right now, Cory, is we're gonna play a little fun and games. Are you ready?
I think I am. What do I need to be ready to play? Do I need to stretch?
No. You don't have to be limber. You can just sit right there on the toilet where you are right now, I'm sure. And all right. So this is the name of the game. All right, Cory. If there's 3 things I know about you, number 1, I know you like to party. Number 2, you like to party. No. And number 3, you are a big fan of a band named Cold. Am I correct?
You are.
You are a member of the Cold Army, are you not?
I am a member of the Cold Army. I might even have a badge on the Facebook page where you're going to say like top participant. Yes.
That's the best. All right. So for people who are listening that have never heard of Cold, that's COLD, the opposite of hot. What's their music like? Describe to me their genre.
It's there's this loose term coming up in the 2000s that they kind of called new metal, right? So so if you remember, we had the Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, right? And that was kind of that grunge rock. And then a couple years after this, there's this other new metal. Like there's a lot of bands that came out that had 4-letter names, right? It was the most darndest thing, right?
Yes, right.
And so it's I wouldn't say it's hard rock. It's melodic. It's interesting, and it's more using a balance of skills, but also using some effects and techniques. And so it's probably some other the biggest mainstream band per se that you could equate it to would be like a Breaking Benjamin.
Okay.
In fact, they're pretty well connected. In fact, they just released a single together, probably in the last year and a half, with the 2 singers, right? And so you can't tell the difference between who's singing. So I think that's the best larger scale band to equate it to. But
okay.
A slow, hard, soft, melodic rock.
Slow? Did you say slow, hard, soft?
Yeah, is that an oxymoron?
Okay. No. It's perfect. It's perfect. So in honor of your love of cold, we're going to play a game called 4-letter bands.
Podfulness.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you 5 questions and you have to provide an answer. Even if you don't know what the correct answer is, you got to give it a try. So why 5 questions? Because 5 is a 4-letter word. You see what I did there? Okay. So for every correct answer, you're going to get 50.
Hold on. I'm spelling in my head.
5, F-I-V-E.
That's right. The E silent.
That's right. It's not FIV. So you're going to get 15 points for every correct answer. And for every answer you get incorrect, you lose 10 points. And at the end of the game, I'm going to add up your total. And no matter what your score, you will get no prize. Okay? We have no money in the budget for that. So here we go. Are you ready to begin?
I think so.
Okay, we are going to play 4-letter bands. Question number 1. I'm thinking of a Canadian band. They play progressive rock, and they share their name with a 2013 action drama starring Chris Hemsworth. Canadian progressive rock band. 4 letters in their name.
Canadian, huh?
Canadian. That's right.
Oh, how do you spell Nickelback?
No. Nope.
No, that's not it.
Any guess? Just you have to guess.
We're
running out of time.
Canada?
Canada, that's your guess?
I got no clue.
Okay.
No
So,
clue.
okay, no clue. I'm going to, you know what? I'll just put down the word clue. That's your
Okay, clue.
guess.
Yes.
Clue. Okay. Question number 2. In 1983, I attended my first concert. Australian pop sensation Men at Work. It's true. That was my first concert. It was their Cargo tour. The opening band was also Australian, and they went on to incredible success in the late 80s. What was this band?
ABBA.
ABBA. Okay, we're going to go with
ABBA. ABBA.
ABBA,
I
ABBA.
don't know what sound the A makes.
All right, question number 3. It's a two-parter. This band ruled the charts in the 70s and the 80s. They had a number 1 hit that was also a 4-letter word. So this band, their only number 1 hit was 4 letters. The band is 4 letters, and I'm going to give you a hint. The lead singer is Dennis DeYoung. Oh, Cory. Their number 1 hit came in 1979. Then they had a number 6 hit, also a 4-letter song.
Dennis Young.
Dennis DeYoung.
DeYoung.
Yeah, D-E. I want you to get some right here. Here's another clue. My favorite songs by them include Best of Times and Don't Let It End. But you might be more familiar with Mr. Roboto.
Is that Devo? Demo?
Devo. Okay, we're going to put
Devo.
down Devo as your answer. Okay.
Is that a band?
This is going really well. All right. Finish.
Hey, the 3 people that are listening are probably yelling out the answer.
Yes, they are so pissed at you right now. All right, finish this lyric and then tell me the band responsible for this lyric.
Oh,
Ready?
I got this one.
Here we go.
I know the words because I sing the words. They don't go on. You don't listen to the band names, just the words.
The wild dogs cry out in the night as they grow restless, longing for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside
Before I spill the Kool-Aid on the side.
Okay, and who sings that song?
That's lyrics? That sounds like a cross between a hybrid of Shakespeare and a Hallmark card.
That's what they're known for. That's how they describe their own lyrics. So any guess on what
No, what year?
Nope.
It's definitely not Corn.
It's not Corn. Not Corn. Another 4. Okay, so that's another question mark. All right, Cory, I worry about your score here. And finally, are you ready? Question number 5. This is an American group formed in 1989. They are best known for their 1993 hit single, Freak Me, which reached
Can I go
number
back to the first?
1.
Hey, Rush is Canadian. Is Rush the answer to the first one?
We can, you know what? Let me ask the judges. Can we go back, guys, and change that? Yeah? Okay. We're going to change that. We're going to change this to
They're a
Rush.
3-piece band, but a 4-letter word.
It's very confusing.
Okay,
so we're talking about now a 1993 hit single called Freak Me. That hit number 1. What is the name of this R&B group? R&B, 1993. 4 letters. Freak Me.
Boys to Men, Bell, Bo,
BB,
LFO,
LF.
O-Town, 98. No,
You're drawing a blank. That's okay, Cory.
Well,
I can see you sweating.
I know. I was.
This is supposed to be enjoyable.
Well, it stopped about 10 minutes ago.
All right, we're gonna have to say no answer. All right, so are you ready to review the answers?
Yeah, like what's the DOK level on those questions? That's intense.
That's the depth of knowledge level is pretty deep here. You are correct. Softballs. I
specifically said new metal, which was 2000 and thereafter, and the latest you gave me was 1993.
That's all right. No one said this was going to be easy, Cory.
This is a generation gap.
Well,
all right. I want to hear the answers.
All right, let's review.
Rush. I know the first.
That's right. That is correct. Canadian progressive rock band, and then there was a movie in 2013 starring Chris Hemsworth called Rush. So congratulations, 15 points.
Boom, baby.
Okay. Question number 2. I attended my first concert. The opening band is a 4-letter word. They had an album called Kick in the late 80s that was so good. Shabu Shaba was also excellent. They had a lot of great hits. INXS, INXS. It was not
Wait a minute.
ABBA.
Hold on. NXS is a 4-letter word?
INXS. It's a 4-letter band. Yeah. It's not meant to be a trick question.
Well, I didn't even know you just read the acronym. You don't
Okay.
spell.
I'm going to take 10 points off for that. So now you're at 5. Okay.
Well,
Wait.
Wait, this isn't like SATs where I could have passed and saved. Took the zero.
No. It's just straight up points.
Do they still do that on SATs?
I have no idea. I think so. But that's SAT is 3 letters, so I would not know anything about that. So here we go. Question number 3. It's a 2-parter. This band ruled the charts in the 70s and 80s. They had a number 1 hit, their only number 1 hit, which was 4 letters. Dennis DeYoung was the lead singer. Their number 1 hit was Babe, B-A-B-E, 1979. They also had a hit called Lady in 1973. This is the band Styx.
Oh.
Except they spell it funny, S-T-Y-X.
Well, that's where
that's another 10 points off.
I don't spell sticks.
I know. But you know how to spell diva, which is made up. But okay. So never mind. Okay, finish this lyric.
I feel like I'm being attacked.
I'm going to finish this lyric. I'm just going to read the last part. Okay. This is, I seek to cure what's deep inside. Frightened of this thing that I've become. Frightened of this thing that I've become.
I was close.
It was from the song Africa by Toto.
Which was recently covered by a new metal band known as the...
Well, Weezer covered it, but was there... Weezer. See, I'm going to give myself 10 points for that, but you're going to lose 10.
Cold's biggest single was co-written with the Weezer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. What song was that called?
A Stupid Girl. That is...
Stupid Girl?
Yeah, that was co-written. I say the Weezer's. I believe the lead singer of Weezer was connected to that. Yeah, but yeah,
Rivers Cuomo.
The Africa cover by Weezer is really, you almost can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I know. It's so good, right? It's a great homage. All right, here's finally number 5. American group formed in '89. Their hit single was "Freak Me." The band Silk. S-I-L-K.
Oh, come on! Nobody's heard of Silk.
Silk. Look. They've got some other jamming songs. They've got Meeting in My Bedroom, I Can't Stop Turning You On, and I Can Go Deep.
In my bedroom?
Yeah, Meet Me in My Bedroom. Meeting. It's meeting, not meet me, meeting in my bedroom.
Like meeting, there's a protocol and an agenda.
Yeah, like I got a Zoom call. I'm going to just take it in the bedroom. Meet me there. A meeting in the bedroom for our important meeting. All right, so I'm adding up your total. Negative 25 points. 4-letter bands is not your thing, but Cold is. They appreciate you. I know they appreciate you. Cory, I appreciate you too. Thank you for coming on and talking about Pat McAfee and playing this silly game with me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, sir.
So that was Cory. That was C-Ho. That was Co-Ho. Talking about his favorite podcast, The Pat McAfee Show, but also sharing his knowledge, or should I say little knowledge, of 4-letter bands. So maybe I kind of tricked him with that game. It wasn't real fair, but it was fun. So how about you? Do you have a favorite podcast that you love to listen to? One that maybe inspires you or makes you laugh, or simply gets you to forget about life for a while? We want to hear from you. Reach out via Twitter or Instagram, and the handle is @Podfulness. That's 1L, Podfulness. Or you can send an email to podfulness@gmail.com. I'm Mark Bernstein, and I will catch you next time on
Podfulness.